The goldfish is by right the most recognizable species of ornamental fish, which takes the honorable first place in the list of the most popular aquarium inhabitants. Gold ones attract owners, not only by their appearance, but also by their behavior. Pets become attached to their owners, take food from their hands, swim on a palm lowered into the water, which children especially like. General information. The goldfish got its name, first of all, for the color of the scales. The standard body color is reddish golden, often with a metallic sheen. There is also a version that the fish were nicknamed gold for their high cost in those days, when they just came to our country. Nowadays goldfish for aquaristics are bred on an industrial scale in special fish farms, so there is no difficulty in getting almost any kind of goldfish in your aquarium. Man has been keeping and breeding goldfish for several millennia. During this time, a huge number of varieties were bred, differing both in the color of the scales and in the shape of the body. Looking at all this riot of bright colors and unusual shapes of goldfish, it is hard to believe that a simple gray fish from the Carpa family became their progenitor. Appearance. Depending on the breed, the goldfish can have an elongated, laterally compressed or short body with a rounded belly. Each goldfish has enlarged gill covers, hard notches on the first fin rays, and pharyngeal teeth, additional jaws in the throat or pharynx. The structure of goldfish scales also depends on the breed characteristics. They can be large, small, or absent altogether in some areas. The most popular color of the body of a goldfish is red gold, but there are forms with other colors: bronze, black, spotted, bluish, etc. The belly of a goldfish is always colored lighter than the back. The fin variation is also quite wide. The caudal fin can be single, bifurcated, veiled, or any other unusual shape. The dorsal fin of a goldfish is short, veiled, or absent. The eyes are large, slightly protruding. In some breeds, they can be greatly enlarged and have a bizarre shape. The minimum size of an adult goldfish in good conditions is rarely less than 15 centimeters. Certain breeds can grow up to 30 centimeters. Goldfish are considered long-lived among fish. The average life expectancy is 13 to 15 years. The record for the lifetime in an aquarium belongs to an English goldfish named Tish, which lived for 43 years. Sexual dimorphism in goldfish is not pronounced. The female and male can be identified only during the period of preparation for spawning. Interesting fact. Breeders from Asia are working to create breeds with eyes located in a plane close to horizontal. This fact is explained by the fact that in Asian countries, unlike European ones, they observe fish from above and not from the side. Discovery history. The inhabitants of ancient China had an extensive culture of keeping wild fish in a variety of cages and barrels. Periodically, very beautiful bright representatives came across, which were used for further breeding. The spread of Buddhism also contributed to the emergence of unusual forms. According to the canons, it was strictly forbidden to kill fish, even physically disabled ones. They were settled in special merciful ponds, where they lived out their days until they died of natural causes. The first written mentions of red carp are found already in Chinese sources of the 3rd and 4th centuries. Probably, these were separate mutations of goldfish with a reddish body coloration. The appearance of such fish was episodic. Most likely, the characteristic persistent red color was obtained as a result of breeding work in Viv. After the 960s, goldfish became popular pets. At that time, only wealthy people could maintain them, since they had enough space for arranging private ponds and swimming pools. Gradually, the demand for goldfish increased, the price for them fell, and gradually in many Chinese houses they became common pets. At first, the fish spread in Indochina. At the beginning of the 16th century they came to Japan. Local breeders have developed a large number of new breeds of goldfish and have become recognized leaders in this field. The first goldfish came to Europe in the 17th century. In the beginning, their cost was very high, and only the wealthiest people could afford to keep goldfish. A century later, goldfish have spread widely throughout Europe. The first evidence of the appearance of goldfish in Russia dates back to the 15th to 16th centuries, usually gifts from foreign ambassadors. But the widespread distribution of fish begins in the 17th century during the reign of Tsar Alexei Mikhailovich and later his son, Peter I. Nowadays, aquarists have access to a wide selection of goldfish breeds, which are grown on specialized fish farms, mainly in the countries of Southeast Asia. Habitat. Since the currently existing goldfish are the result of the selection of goldfish, it is not possible to meet them in their natural habitats. The offspring of goldfish released into a natural reservoir is usually reborn into its original form over several generations. Goldfish is a form of crucian carp, artificially bred in China from goldfish. The mention of the goldfish, gold-colored crucian carp, is first found in Chinese chronicles. The natural range of this species includes rivers of the southern Chinese provinces. The silver carp, a wild ancestral form of the goldfish, was originally distributed in the reservoirs of Central Asia and Siberia, as well as in the lower reaches of the rivers of the Aral Sea. Later, the goldfish was artificially settled in many water bodies of Europe and Siberia. Plants, detritus, small crustaceans and insects serve as food for it. At the beginning of the 16th century, these fish were first exported to Japan and China, where they decorated the imperial gardens. In some reservoirs, only female goldfish live, which spawn with males of related fish species, roach, goldfish, tench, bream, carp and others. At the same time, sperm of closely related species stimulate the development of eggs, hybrids are not formed, and only females appear in the offspring, supporting the existing population. In appearance, gold and silver carp are similar. In some water bodies, these species live together. At the same time, there is a gradual displacement of goldfish by silver carp. Silver and gold carp can interbreed and give hybrids that are found in some bodies of water. There is a problem with the introduction of aquarium goldfish into the natural environment. So, in Australia, some aquarists release their fish into natural reservoirs, where they reach significant sizes on a rich food base. The largest of these individuals weighed 1.9 kilograms. At the same time, goldfish pose a threat to the rest of the inhabitants of the reservoir. They quickly eat higher plants and algae, which creates a shortage of food, can destroy eggs of other fish, and spread infections. Views. The number of breeds of goldfish is simply amazing. At the moment there are more than 300 of them. This great diversity has been facilitated by hundreds of years of various crosses and careful selection. Some breeds were obtained due to the keeping of fish in terrible conditions, aquariums with a large overcrowding, very warm water with rare changes, abundant feeding of natural high-protein feed. This led to outbreaks of infections, due to which the belly of goldfish swelled, creating the prerequisites for genetic changes, which were subsequently consolidated by selection. Initially, 4 main breeds were created: Ryokan, Wakan, Ranchu, and Demakan, from the various variations of which all the variety of modern variations was derived. All breeding goldfish are divided into 2 large groups: long-bodied, comet, Wakan, etc., and short-bodied, telescope, Aranda, etc. The first group is the closest to the original shape, the differences are usually in the shape and size of the fins. The breeds of the second group have undergone much more significant changes, affecting the entire body of the fish. Due to serious changes in all organs, the lifespan of such forms is greatly reduced. An interesting direction in goldfish breeding is breeding breeds with eyes directed upwards. This is due to the historical traditions of fish placement. In Europe, people are used to watching goldfish from the side, and in Asian countries, from above. Care and maintenance. A spacious aquarium is needed to keep goldfish. This is due to the large size of the fish. Some individuals can grow up to 20 to 30 centimeters, and their activity. The minimum recommended volume is 50 liters per bird. Classic rectangular aquariums with a height of no more than 50 centimeters are preferred. Long-bodied breeds of goldfish, such as comets, are better suited for a long-length aquarium, so they have more space for active swimming. It is best to use rounded pebbles as soil, as goldfish love to dig in it. The size must be chosen so that the fish cannot swallow the pebbles. When designing an aquarium, remember that some breeds of goldfish with modified eyes, telescopes, stargazers, water eyes, can easily damage the organs of vision, therefore the decoration should not have sharp edges. Goldfish swim in all layers of water. Goldfish have gained fame as aquarium grubby, and there is some truth in this. The fish are active and quite voracious, therefore, they emit a lot of waste into the water, and also constantly raise turbidity, digging in the ground, therefore good filtration and aeration are very important for them. The use of powerful canister external water filters is recommended. Nitrifying bacteria living on filter sponges and special substrates will decompose ammonia, which is dangerous for fish, into practically harmless nitrate. Modern compressors can easily help enrich the water with the required amount of oxygen, which is necessary for both fish and beneficial bacteria for their vital functions. Do not forget about regular water changes. Weekly you need to change 25 to 30% of water to fresh. This will not allow harmful compounds to accumulate in the water. Goldfish are cold water species. This means that the optimal temperature for their maintenance will be 18 to 23 degrees centigrade in summer and 15 to 18 degrees centigrade in winter. During summer, many goldfish are able to live in ornamental outdoor ponds without any problems. Thus, when keeping goldfish, you do not need to use the thermostat. Water hardness should be in the range of 8 to 25 degrees DGH, acidity 6.0 to 8.0. From this it follows that goldfish are quite hardy and able to live in a wide range of water parameters. It should be noted that modern breeding species are more sensitive to water parameters, therefore, recommendations on their maintenance are best followed with great attention. If necessary, salt can be added to goldfish, 5 to 7 grams liter. They tolerate a slight increase in water salinity without problems. The goldfish inherited from their natural form the love of plucking the delicate leaves of aquatic plants. Therefore, when keeping in an aquarium, it is best to use hard-leaved or fast-growing species, for example, anubias, eladia, Vallisneria gigantea, some cryptocorynes. It is worth remembering that goldfish are very fond of stirring up the soil, so the plants must be planted so that the pets do not have the opportunity to get to the roots. Often, when keeping them, aquarists make a choice in favor of artificial plants. Compatibility. A species aquarium will be ideal for keeping goldfish, that is, it would be best to plant a school of fish of the same species in a container of a suitable volume. It should be borne in mind that it is better not to mix breeds with long and short bodies. Long-bodied species are more active and can damage neighbors' fins or eyes. The difficulty of combining with other species is also due to the difference in temperature optima in cold water fish, golden, and tropical, most of other ornamental fish. For the second group, the preferred water temperature is 24 to 28 degrees centigrade, which is the upper limit for goldfish. Warm water is less comfortable for them. If the aquarist has decided to keep goldfish together with other species, then you should not pick up too small fish as neighbors that can be eaten by goldfish. Active fish that can bite off fins, for example, many species of barbs, will not be the best choice. Rocks such as comets can live with non-aggressive medium-sized cichlids. Feeding. Goldfish are omnivorous fish. This means that both animal and plant components must be present in their diet. Fish are unpretentious in food and are able to consume any type of food, dry, live, frozen. Dry food with a high content of spirulina, as well as floating plants, are used as plant nutrition. Some aquarists practice feeding goldfish with cereals, semolina, wheat, rice, etc. But such products can lead to a deterioration in water quality. Dry food used to feed goldfish must be completely balanced, nutritious and well digestible. The latter is especially important since undigested substances will enter the water with fish waste and can cause the accumulation of toxic nitrogenous compounds. Taking into account the huge popularity of goldfish in the world, the Tetra company produces a whole line of specialized food for goldfish, Tetra Goldfish. The line includes more than 10 types of feed, differing in the form of release and additional functions. It is necessary to feed the goldfish several times a day in small portions, which will be eaten by the fish in a few minutes. Breeding. Goldfish become sexually mature by the first year of life. However, when breeding, the best age to select sires is between 2 and 4 years of age. The older the female, the more eggs she can spawn. Large individuals can sweep away up to 3,000 eggs. Spawning can occur several times a year. When breeding selection forms, it is necessary to pay great attention to the quality of the producers. The best available individuals are selected, with a maximum compliance with a breed standard. Sexual dimorphism in goldfish is not pronounced. It becomes possible to determine the male and female only when the mating season begins. Under natural conditions, it falls on the end of spring, April-May. During preparation for spawning, the appearance of both males and females changes. On the gill covers, small rounded nacreous tubercles, called tubercles, can be found, and small saw-like notches appear on the pectoral fins. In female goldfish ready for spawning, the abdomen increases in size, while males actively pursue females, driving them into dense vegetation and make characteristic blows to the anus. For spawning, an aquarium of 40 liters or more with good aeration and lighting is suitable. The water level should be about 20 centimeters. Producers often eat their eggs, therefore it is recommended to install a net with a large mesh at a height of 1 to 2 centimeters from the bottom, or use dense thickets of living plants in the aquarium. Spawning is stimulated by an increase in temperature and a large water change, more than 1/3. Eggs are about 1 millimeter in size. At first they are translucent with a yellowish tinge. After a few days, the laid eggs turn pale and become difficult to distinguish, and the unfertilized ones become covered with fungus and turn white. Infected goldfish eggs must be removed and healthy eggs treated with an antifungal agent such as methylene blue. On days 2 to 6, larvae appear from the eggs, which hang motionless between the plants and receive food from the yolk sac. They are usually in a head-up position. The hatching time depends on the water temperature and light exposure. After the supply of nutrients is depleted, the fry of the goldfish swim to the surface of the water in order to fill their swim bladder with air, after which they have the opportunity to assume a horizontal position. Then the fry begin to actively move in search of food. The starter feed can be brine shrimp nauplii, rotifers or live dust, as well as high-quality dry feed for fry. It is necessary to feed the fry frequently, up to 3 to 6 times a day. As you grow, the number of feedings decreases. The initial coloration of goldfish fry is very similar to its ancestor, the goldfish. Breed color appears in juveniles at the age of 2 to 3 months. As the goldfish grows, it is necessary to sort by the necessary external signs. The fact is that in the offspring splitting according to morphological characteristics is very often observed, and in some cases the fry do not have the expected breed characteristics. Such cleanups help to reject individuals that do not meet standards. In addition, sorting helps to relieve the aquarium and prevent fry from being pulled in. Young thoroughbred goldfish are very sensitive to water quality and are susceptible to certain diseases, therefore it is necessary to strictly monitor the state of the rearing aquarium. As laboratory animals, goldfish are used in various scientific research as model laboratory animals. They have been used to study the behavior of fish in a weightless state. Criticism. According to conservationists and animals, goldfish have been subjected to the most severe violence in order to obtain new ugly forms and behavioral characteristics achieved by keeping and raising fish in cramped conditions without sufficient or excess amount of air, oxygen dissolved in water, and lack of light, overfeeding with plant and animal feed with the addition of various additives to achieve modifications in the shape of the body and eyes, as well as the subsequent consolidation of the obtained qualities in the genome of future generations. Price. For setting up and maintaining a goldfish home using the method below with all the food and water stuff brings us to an average cost of $70.06. More if you want store-bought decor. Again, this is an average.